Zol, I'm going to move you up to $125,000, okay? So your risk would go up to $1,250 a trade. Yeah. Aaron, we're going to take a gamble with you, so hopefully you don't regret it. Moving up to 100k, okay? So each trade is going to be $1,000.
Gilts surge on expectations that the UK government is preparing for a tax cut U-turn. Kwasi Kwarteng flies back early from his US trip. US core CPI comes in at the hottest level since 1982, with inflation spreading deeper into the economy. A 75 basis point hike next month is all but solidified. And ahead of this weekend's Communist Party Congress in Beijing, we look at how President Xi is securing his plan to stay in power.
I just have a position on gold since last night. A short position, targeting the yesterday low, and yeah, it's in profit now. It's just hanging around the daily pivot. I hope it will be broken, and the weekly low will be broken again, like yesterday it was, and will hit my profit. 2%. It's a 2-1. It was a good pullback. Rejection, price action slowdown. First seller's bar cluster was signaling an entry as well as an extra confirmation, so I went short. My stop loss is just below here, and take profit all the way down yesterday's low. It's a nice setup. It's a good trade. I'm absolutely comfortable with aligning all with the rules we've been told, so I'm quite happy with this.
So yesterday, before we left, I had hopped in a gold short. Let me just fix this for you. So I had sold around this area after this bearish pin bar close here. We have some resistance, daily 15-minute EMAs match. Looking for a huge take profit, which I don't know if we're going to get all the way down there or not, but down here in the middle of S1, S2. Stop loss right below R1. So looking for a little 2-1. If we hit, we'll only be down about 1.5%. So very optimistic on this sitting. Hopefully we get down into that area. We're also looking at GJ longs for a second trade today, because that's really the only other pair that I can trade. So somewhere down here in this area around S1, looking to long this back up.
Friday morning, even news on high impact on the menu today. I'm still on the Euro US dollar trade from yesterday evening. I just went in for short, and it panned out in a range the whole night. So I was between 100 quid profit and 200 quid minus. But now it comes a little bit more in the profit zone to me, because the US dollar is strengthened, and I have a look what comes out. It looks pretty interesting right now.
Confident?
I'm confident. I'm always confident. That's the thing. I do not hit on sell or buy when I'm not confident about that what I'm doing.
We are in a trade from last night. So I entered around 7 o'clock, which was around here somewhere on the 15-minute, and it saw sort of price come up during the night, sort of almost topped out a bit. It's come back down near to my entry this morning. Was in a tiny bit of drawdown, but currently it looks like we're getting a push back up towards the target. So hopefully we get there, aiming for just below 2-1. And yeah, fingers crossed this comes in, could do with a nice win for the day, and then if it happens soon, it might open up some opportunities to get into some other trades throughout the rest of the day.
Confident?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm quite confident on this, to be fair. Looks we've had quite a, obviously yesterday was quite manic. There's had quite a big turnaround of events. So I was looking to get in on a pullback yesterday, but everything just kept motoring through areas. It was just too sort of volatile and too bearish in this scenario to be able to get in. So I think 7 o'clock last night we started to level out a bit, and it looked like a decent place to get an entry. So yeah, fingers crossed, and yeah, hopefully get the win on this one.
I've got to tell you. Okay, so I'm still in this trade from yesterday. This is the US dollar CAD. Currently down. We got on yesterday at this 4-hour level of support, 4-hour trend line, hoping for a bounce back up to touch these previous highs here, to take a nice 1-to-1. It's supposed to be quite quick, but as you can see, it's been playing around overnight. Hopefully this morning it'll come back, hit my take profit, and happy days. I've had a chat with the man in the know, and the man in the know has reassured me to let it go. Well, I'm confident in the trade when I took the trade. As the trade is at it at the moment, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I've been reassured. By the boss. So it's a good trade.
So this morning I got back in pound yen. I took a long position right off this resistance zone, trend breaking through, and we got a lot of resistance up to 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Our cluster started forming. We had a nice pullback here, about 87 pips. So I put my stop loss half that, about 40 pips, and our 2-to-1 will be just under the weekly high, right at the top of this consolidation zone that we have here. Today, the Bank of England is finishing up their gilt buying. So I'm hoping that on the last day of gilt buying, they put a lot more money into it, make the pound a lot stronger, and we can see a pretty good move on this pair. Now we'll just have to sit back and wait and see how this trade goes. The markets all morning have been pretty flat. I haven't seen too much movement. I was trying to make some trades last night, so I set a couple of alarms last night, like at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And when I woke up, there was really nothing going on. It was just maybe 30 pip moves total between certain pairs, and then other pairs were moving like maybe 12 pips. So it's been a really slow morning today. With the London session open now, we're starting to see a little bit more volume, so we'll start seeing a little bit more moves, and we're hopefully it goes in our favor today.
So we've just got in Euro Yen on the buy, on the 5-minute. It was on a trend line, 15-minute trend line. Good level of support here. We've got a clusters firing. We've got a good level of support here. I've got a green pin bar to go. Calculated my take profit just up here at 1.5 to 1. And naturally, it's gone the other way. As you can see, very, very close. But hopefully we'll get a nice green pin bar off this level of resistance and it'll go up and take our profit. Confidence-wise, we'll find out in the next 2 minutes. It's 20 pips because it was only a 30 pip move to the top, so the target's 1.5 to 1. Well, that's why I put the stop loss there. Don't worry, it's the Europeans. They'll sell off. Have faith in the process. As you can see, I'm familiar with the trading lingo, with the old neck and shoulders. That's
Literally need TPs off.
yeah, that's a good trade for you, mate. This trade, I'm happy now with it. I weren't happy at like midnight last night when it was tickling my stop loss.
It's in a good area of support though.
So hopefully it'll now push up and take profit. Might be a nice one.
Must be pretty close to take.
Nice 1.5%.
My TP's just on this pivot from yesterday.
Try and turn this horrible corner that I'm on.
Look at the price action between EJ and US dollar CAD. They work opposite. I know if you look at the correlated pairs, we can trade it, but I noticed that if you go back to dollar CAD, or whatever US pair, actually, if this is going up, pound yen and euro yen are going the opposite way. That's why I've not really looked at getting into it.
But they're the only two we can trade.
Huh?
They're the only two we can trade.
I know we can trade them, but I personally didn't see the point when I can literally see one going up and the opposite one going down.
So you reckon you can beat these guys in trading? I'm going to give you a 100k trading account in prizes for free in my latest trading challenge. The link is pinned in the comments below. Make sure you enter, and once you do, leave a comment saying entered and hit that subscribe button to show some support.
Pretty neutral right now. Entered 2 positions last night at the end of the day. Took one loss on pound dollar yesterday. So just opened shorts on gold. A 5-minute retest of the range lows that we broke out of. So just trying to take that back down to the previous lows. Cluster confirmation, couple of pin bars, nice few lower highs, and using the UK pivot as resistance now. And then as for US dollar CAD, we saw a massive sell-off after initial bullish news on the dollar. We saw price break through the pivot down through S1, through S2, and then found support on S3, and just entered on a bullish move off of S3, targeting a 4-to-1, but managing the position now, looking to close if we see any confirmed bearish momentum in the opposite direction. So I feel pretty much the same, to be honest. I'm still a long way back, a lot to do. Can't get too excited. Have to take every trade as they come and see what we can do next week. Just kept to the rules. Tried to get at least a 2-to-1 out of my trades. I was just following the EMAs, support and resistance zones, and good price action mixed with the cluster algorithm. So yeah, just stuck with the plan, stuck with the trading rules that the guys have taught, and yeah, looks to be, well, hopefully the turn of a corner. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
Good news for me this morning. I've hit take profit on dollar CAD. Got in last night around 7 p.m. Just here at this support level. And yeah, price sort of came up during the night and then reversed back to test this support area. And yeah, fortunately for me today, we've rallied up towards the UK pivot. Yesterday's UK pivot was my take profit, which is pretty much hit on the nose and then started to reject today's pivot. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a reversal and continue up today, or do we just start coming back down? So I made 1.7% on that trade, which was $245, I believe. So yeah, that gets me slightly back towards break even, still I think 3.3% down overall. So not ideal, but obviously it's nice to get a win in the bag and hopefully generate some momentum going forward, get back to break even and then eventually into profit. That's the plan. We've got bank earnings coming out of the US today, and there's also been news that just come out about Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng has flown back from Washington early to discuss a potential U-turn on the mini budget. So she's expected to make an announcement later today, so no doubt that's going to create a lot of volatility, so we might get an opportunity there. But at the moment I'm just sort of having a look around, seeing what looks appealing, and yeah, if something arrives then I will take another trade.
So I'm still at the Euro USD short. I made a little retracement. I watch it exactly because there's a lot of volume in that one candle, and it could turn everything around. But right now it looks really good. I reached my 1-to-1, and as it looks volatile back and forth, it can go either down than up. No, I'm not closing at the 1-to-1. I wait because we have the big news coming up, and so the retail sales year-over-year, ex-auto, so high impact news, and so US dollar will just react on that. The consensus and the opinion looks good for the US dollar, so I guess this will be the rest to fulfill my 2-to-1.
Dollar gold trade goes well now. I am in 1% profit. Price is still moving very nicely, aggressively downstairs to my take profit. So I hope it's gonna stay like this. Confident, and I'm happy to took that trade last night. It's a good decision.
At the moment it's having some rejection at the UK pivot. It's running up on a 15-minute trend line. Going to see if it maintains this trend line. If it breaks the trend line, I'm going to see if I can exit the trade for whatever profits in. I'll put them in it. Hopefully we'll just carry on pushing up. Okay, listen up guys. Can I grab Zolt and Aaron please? Can I grab you in my office? Zolt and Aaron. Do you guys happen to have any trainers with you?
Trainers?
Trainers in your ready bag?
Yeah, I do.
What do you have jacket-wise?
Jacket-wise, I have a range.
I've got a jacket. What bottoms do you have?
Like mountain climbing stuff?
Well, I have the same stuff I had last time in Wales when we went.
What was that?
It's like it's a normal trousers.
Trousers, waterproof.
Jumper. My one is not waterproof, but I have a raincoat.
Okay, cool. So you two are the highest performing. So we're going to a place, it's called Luton Hoo. And we're going to do some shooting and have some lunch.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah? So, you thought you was going for
I thought the challenge was coming on there.
You thought you were going for another beast. Farron's lurking behind you. He's coming for both of you. Now, both of you are doing really well, so congrats. We're just going to work out what we're going to move your accounts up to when we're back. I know you're in one trade at the moment, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so it's up to you what you do with that. Have you got MetTrade on your phone?
I do, yeah.
So you could log in and you know, manage it if you wanted to,
Yeah,
or you can close it before you go. Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
Okay.
I will monitor on my phone.
Cool. So we're going to leave in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds
So if you
great.
can just plan accordingly and then get ready for 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. All right.
Cool. Good stuff.
Let's crack in. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, guys. As you know or may know, a couple of you are going out. So the two guys that are coming out of us lot, we're going out for the afternoon. They're both profitable, so everyone else is down. It was supposed to be for everybody, because I was hoping that everybody would be up, but seeing as there's only two up, it's just those two that's going. So if we can, everybody else, I've seen some of you taking some nice trades today. Looks like you've ended your loss streak so far and pulling it up, which is good. For everybody else, what I want you to see is managing your trades and turning your accounts into profit. That's basically what I want to do. We'll be back hopefully by 4-ish, and we'll be giving an update on what's happening with some of your accounts at the end of the day. Okay? So let's keep our heads down, let's get focused, and let's get those accounts making money. Yeah?
We are going to teach you to shoot to the point of if you miss a target, you should be able to tell us where you've missed it. That will become your fault, not ours anyway. We actually do teach you properly, so not many shooting grounds do that. They just sort of put a gun in your shoulder, give you, you know, brief explanation of what to do, whereas here you fully understand what's going to go.
Dominant eye is not necessarily. If you've got a dominant eye. So this is the technique. Then when it gets to the top, on it, with it, bang. Pick it up nice and close, wait for it. There you go, and again.
I have never been shooting before or done anything really like that, so it was great fun for me and Joel to go out for the day. Obviously a nice reward for being profitable for last week. It's nice to have that, I guess, as a bit of an incentive for us to have. Everyone is, of course, entitled to do so, so yeah.
Let it settle. Bang. Good, and again. Bang, and again. Faith on it, with it, bang. Nice, one more. On it, with it, bang. There you go, 6 out of 6, well done. Come in now. On it, with it, bang. And again, face down, on it, with it, bang. Lovely.
Yeah, so we're just at the country club now. We just finished up some shooting. Awesome time. Never done it before, so it was great fun. Just about to grab some food now. But yeah, I was just saying, it's hard to forget that, you know, we're going to go back now, and obviously someone is going to leave us today, which is tough for everyone. So yeah, we'll enjoy some food now, and we'll head back, and yeah, the sad time will come among us.
Good? Yeah, it was great fun. Yeah, amazing. The place is beautiful. I never done anything like this before, but yeah, I enjoyed myself a lot.
What gins have you got?
I'd probably take it.
Yeah, it's big. We are close. Around 800, 792.
Might bounce off the other lows, so 800 is not bad.
Yeah. What are you thinking? 1.5. Go for it. Should go down. Yes, it should go. Should. It was such a great setup. Should hit, man. It doesn't go always straight.
Oh, you're right there. And one more, yeah? And
Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, down. Close.
No stress.
So if you love trading like I do and my team, and you want to become more qualified, we offer a level 5 and level 7 diploma. Now this is the exact same as a master's degree equivalent. If you want to find out how to get more qualified in trading, check the link in the description and show some support by hitting that subscribe button.
It's a bit of a shame. The activity they're doing probably would have been a load of fun to participate in.
Nah.
No?
Nah, mate.
Shooting, man.
Mate, I came here to trade.
Yeah, I know, mate, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're not profitable. So we have to get profitable, so we need more chart time, more practice, more patience. So it would be nice to be joining in, but it is what it is. Got to take it on the chin, move forward. I said that a lot this week, take it on the chin, because the market's been chinning me every day.
Glad that Sam left us to try and make back what we've lost in our accounts. Whatever they're doing, I do hope they have fun. I mean, when I went for the lunch the one day, it was an amazing experience, so I hope they have the same thing.
Manage this gold position, looking for potential pullbacks on other pairs, dollar yen, pullback to the UK pivot would be splendid. A pullback to S1 would be even crispier. But apart from that, just got to sit on my hands, take the W, and then only react to the market if it gives me opportunities that are of high quality. That's it. Closed out 2 winning positions today, a 2-to-1 on gold. So the shorts last night came in, hit TP this afternoon for a nice $270-ish profit, which was just about a 2-to-1. As for the other position, I was in US dollar CAD. It There's a 15-minute scalp from the S3 zone last night. It was a fairly aggressive stop, only 30 pips, but I knew that I needed to have a big day today to have a hope of staying around. So I managed to get a 2.5 to 1 out of that and finish the day 4.5% up, which took a big dent out of the 9% I was down going into yesterday afternoon.
I've decided I'm going to wait for the opportunities to come to me instead of me searching for the opportunities. Instead of impulse trading, rushing, being impatient, I'm waiting. I set my alerts, prices that I'm happy with. You have to be in control of the chart, right? You don't want the chart to be in control of you, keeping you glued to the screen.
So I'm in my first trade for the day, shorting New Zealand US dollar. Currently in small profits. It's a 5 minutes trade after a decent pullback. After the bearish downside move, we had a pullback for more than 50%. All the daily, hourly, as well as 5 minutes EMAs showing bearish. Good confirmation candle. So yeah, aiming for 2.221 risk reward, and let's see how the trade goes.
This is my pound yen trade. I took the long from here. We ended up getting close to a 1.5 to 1. Started coming back down, and right here I had a chance to get out of it at a 1 to 1. Just poor risk management. I should have noticed that it's starting to trend downwards, bearish, and then just got out with my 1 to 1, saved myself the loss. But it just continued down into my stop loss, which was about 40 pips. Hit my stop loss, and then started making its way back up. So ended up losing that trade today, down 1% for the day, but we're looking for more options to try and make that back up today. Right now, I am negative in my account. Like, I want to win the competition. It's just staring at the screens, like, 9 hours a day for 5 days a week. It does take energy out of you. Whenever I go back to the Airbnb, I'm really exhausted. It's not like I'm sore or anything like that, just mental exhaustion hits a lot harder.
Our October read on retail sales up 1.3%. That is definitely better than expected. You have to go all the way back to February to find a better month-over-month change. If strip out autos, still up 1.3, solid. Strip out autos and gas, it deteriorates, but not by much, up 0.9. These are multiples of what we expected. And the control group to be inputted in higher up the food chain economic releases, well, that number is up 0.7%. Up 0.7%. That is the best level since June when it was up at 1.1. Very solid.
No, it is what it is. From 1% up to now almost minus 0.5% down. We had even positive news on the retail sales for the US, and it should strengthen the US dollar. But the market decided otherwise, and now we have very weak US dollar. We just had moved in less than 15 minutes, more than 55 pips.
Watch the reaction after the positive news from the States, the negative impact to the market. I went from $450 profit to $130 minus, and that's the name of the game. That's trading, and I take this side and this side, so emotionless as possible.
You can close the trade if it's selling off. I can't argue that it's not selling off.
No, it's definitely selling off, but I just thought that you had to enter the trade and you had to leave it in there. And you asked a couple times if you could close it. It was at 850, so I imagine at 200. I don't know.
Well, no, I went in and I said about the UK pivot, blah, 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 blah. And he said, just manage the trade. So I've managed the trade. I think it's selling off. So I raised the stop loss above my entry, below support, below the moving averages, below a trend line, and it smashed through it, and it's still selling off. So instead of losing 1%, I'm up a third. So I think I managed to trade well. I'm not going to take a loss. I think I made a reasonable decision.
I definitely agree with the fact you made a reasonable decision, but from my understanding, once you enter the trade, and then you can move it, you can close it at a 1.5 to 1. You're not allowed to move your stop loss, and you're in the trade until you're in the trade.
I said the other day, if it's going against you, you can come out.
Maybe there's not a clear understanding of the rules for either of us, I don't know.
I'll sooner be up 0.03% than down 1%.
So only down 0.7 for the day. So I guess that's,
Positives.
Yeah. Now you can look for another trade and make
So
2% maybe.
that's broke my losing trade duck.
I guess so. Non-profit closes.
It was a profit.
No, it ended your non-profit.
Yeah. I've made him £200 and saved him £600. So, but I'll still get told off.
You definitely saved him.
So there's an £800 difference there, but I'll get told off. Yeah, I know I will. He did say manage the trade, so I did what I thought was sensible.
New businesses can set up, and families can afford an even better life. That's why, from day one, I've been ambitious for growth. Since the 2008 financial crisis, the potential of this great country has been held back by persistently weak growth. I want to deliver a low-tax, high-wage, high-growth economy. It's what I was elected by my party to do. That mission remains. People across this country rightly want stability. That's why we acted to support businesses and households with their energy costs this winter. My priority is ensuring our country's economic stability. As Prime Minister, I will always act in the national interest. This is always my first consideration. I want to be honest, this is difficult, but we will get through this storm, and we will deliver the strong and sustained growth that can transform the prosperity of our country for generations to come.
So I entered a trade on cable. I went off of the 5-minute entry for a sell order. We had this very strong trend line right here. Our pullbacks had been more than 50%, so I took a 50 pip stop loss and then 100 pip take profit right here. The moves here were about 120 pips total from wick to wick. So we're roughly aiming for S1 here. I feel like this trade's gonna happen overnight, or not overnight, but we're gonna be holding it overnight into Monday. 5-minute time frame was looking very good as well for this trade. Just a lot of resistance off this trend line, and then off the 200 EMA we had a rejection on the 5, and then a rejection off the 50 on the 15-minute time frame. So everything was looking good for the short position here. We had news today that Liz Truss spoke about their policies and how they're reverting them back to what they were before, which created a lot less power for the pound. And then US dollar got a lot stronger with their news as well today, so it looks like a very good trade technically and fundamentally, so I'm really confident in it.
A bad day today in the office. Broke the rules, moved my stop loss, got taken out for plus 0.3%, when if I'd left it, it would have been out at plus 2%. Saw a bad move come back down. Thought I up history repeating here, because the other day cable was 1 pip away from my target, and then it went all the way and took me out. Basically the same happening situation. This time I moved my stop loss, which goes against the rules. I just want to chat to you about why I moved my stop loss on the CAD trade.
So obviously you're one of the largest at the moment, and you have, like I said, you've got one of the best potentials for following it. But when you follow rules, you've got to follow all the rules, not just the ones there. So any time you're emotional, just try to remember your emotions is based on the fact that you're not used to losing that sum of money. So when Sam says, I would rather either take a full loss or full take profit, just stick to it, because as you just mentioned, it's going to affect your probability. Well, we're past your target, really, and it's not far off a 2-to-1, right? So let's say you achieve 2-to-1 today. That would have been happy days going into Monday. If you lost on Monday, we'd be going, oh, it's part and parcel of it. But now, because you're in that spiral where you've had loss, then you've had partial profit today. If you had a loss on Monday, you're then going to be even more hesitant to perform because of your coming off the back of those losers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just need to stick to the plan. We've only got 5 days.
Yeah.
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 Try not to kick yourself about it. Just understand that you don't know better. That's the simple part about it. And to be honest with you, I would argue that even when I'm like, oh, I think I should get out of this because I think it's going to be bad, I don't know better. I don't know better than maths. Yeah, maths works, probability works, and we just have to stick with that. And once you realise that, you just all emotion goes out the window because you're like, well, it doesn't matter what I think, as long as you take that mistake on board and you realise, right, I actually would have been up now X, but because of that, I'm not.
Yeah.
Going into next week, when you next try to go through that emotional thing of I want to close it, your argument should be no.
Yeah, definitely. Or just come in here, face the music.
Yeah, no.
Put my hands up.
I understand.
You can tell they're feeling the pressure emotionally, especially Paul, but he's still coming out on top and following the rules. And worst case scenario, he comes and asks me, I'm thinking of doing X, Y, Z. What's your thoughts on that? And that takes balls to come and actually ask me what to do. Whereas some of the people just sit there and don't ask at all.
So after 22 and a half hours, roughly, we were able to close out our gold shorts. So we initially took the position up here last night around 5 p.m. And we just closed out in this area right here. Saw 2 bullish pin bars, so back-to-back bullish pin bars for a 30-minute period of time. Sam had sent an equation at the beginning of last week on what the scalping strategy, or when you were able to close the scalping strategy, so I just was a bit confused on the rules. So I just sent the question in the chat to see if I was able to go ahead and close it for the duration of the period that I was in the trade, and he gave me his blessing that I'm able to close it, so I went ahead and closed it for a 0.77% gain. So we're down about 3.5% right now. So going into the next week, if I'm still here after today, if someone gets votes off, it's really only 1 to 2 trades that I need to win to get back into profit. I feel good overall. I feel like it takes a lot to hold the trade for that long, especially when it's a scalp. So I feel like there was good patience, waiting for the confirmations for the setup, waiting for the confirmations to go down. But now that I have more education on how the strategy should go and what you should be looking for, I feel like I have a higher chance of winning my trades and looking for a larger percentage due to having a smaller stop loss and looking for a larger take profit.
Ideally, we usually cut 1 or 2 people today from where we are at the moment. And I've got to make the choice between either individuals making mistakes or individuals not doing much or individuals losing money. So it's a tough choice of where we're at. So we need to get down to 6 of you. So 4 naturally will be gone next week, okay? Now, when we look at this from a percentage point of view, in first place we've got Zolt, who's up 3.4%, okay? So Zolt's doing really well. Where is Zolt? I'll let him off, seeing as he's in first place. He's up 3.4%. In second place we've got Aaron, who's up 2.5%. And then in third place, we've got Paul, who's minus 1.5% overall. Fourth, we have Tibor, who's minus 1.81%. Fifth, we have Jesse, who's minus 2.48%. Sixth, we have Ben, who's minus 3.31%. Seventh, we've got Jalen, who's minus 3.6%. Eighth is Christian, who's minus 4.73%. Ninth is Abdul, who's minus 5%. We've got Jacob in last place, minus 7.66%. Okay, so even though, let's now switch this over and now look at monetary. Okay, so that's where you stand in place 1 to 10. Again, in first place, we then have Zolt, who's up over $1,200. So congrats there, Zolt, well done. Second, we then have Aaron, who's up $418. So to give you an idea, 2 weeks in, and only 2 traders are net profitable. Third place, we have Ben, who's minus $497. Fourth, we have Jalen, who's minus $549. Fifth, we have Jesse, who's minus $621. And in sixth place, we have got Christian, who's minus $710, who had a great pullback today. So well done on your trades. I think you netted over 4% today, right? Yeah, nice, well done. It's a good recovery. You're still in sixth place on the monetary side. Seventh, we have Tibor, who's minus $784. Eighth place, we have Abdul, who's minus $811. I know you two have both got trades open, so this is as of close, so just keep that in mind. Then in ninth place, we've got Jacob, who's minus $1,148, and also is only on 15,000, so we've got to keep that in mind. And in 10th place, we've then got Paul, which is minus $2,143. So when we look at the total scale, the total amount of money, we're minus $5,643 with 1 week to go before the final challenge. So we're in a big predicament. If either way that you look at the list, Jacob, you are in last place on both, I would say, monetary and percentage, just based on your account balance. So I think anybody that's in either list, that's in the bottom 4, so percentage, you know, Jalen, you're in 7th, 8th is Christian, 9th is Abdul, and 10th is Jacob. You're all at risk right now for going home, and especially if someone then in that list does better. So for example, Ben's just scraping been in that list, so obviously if someone then comes along and Jalen does a trade, then that's you in that 6. Again, on the flip side, on the monetary side, you are also at risk of going home, with Paul being in the bottom, minus 2,000, and Jacob again, Abdul and Tibor. So that list can quickly change, because I'm pretty sure Tibor and Abdul are floating at the moment, and that would instantly then push Jesse and Christian into that bottom area. So I'm in a huge predicament. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it to you guys, and I'm going to give you until Tuesday to get out of that bottom list, basically. Yeah. The only way that I'm now looking at this is how do we recover money? How do we start making gains? And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by increasing capital. But I can't increase capital naturally, because there's only 2 people that are profitable. So Zol, I'm going to move you up to $125,000. Okay. So your risk would go up to $1,250 a trade. Yeah. Aaron, we're going to take a gamble with you, so hopefully you don't regret it. Moving up to 100k. Okay. So each trade is going to be $1,000. Now just remember as well, it's quite quickly that you could then go into the bottom of the monetary list as well, because you've got, the 2 of you have got bigger accounts. If we was all to maintain just 2% gain on our account that we've got right now, if we could all finish up 2%, we'd be up over $8,000. Yeah, that would be a nice turnaround story. Let's hit the market. Those 2 days count. Yeah.
So anyone that's got pound exposure needs to be listening to this talk that's about to come out on Downing Street, okay? It'll be make or break, really. I'd remove your target though, just in case it shoots up. If it goes down, then you lose 1%. If it shoots up, you can make 2 to 3%, right?
So we've hit our take profit, but on the advice, this positive news coming out on the UK, better than Friday. I like it when it goes the way it's meant to go.
Don't really want to tell him what to do, but I wouldn't be taking profit right now. I'd be holding on to it, but